Top 10. Majungasaurus. Your journey begins 70 million years ago on the semi-arid floodplains of what is now Madagascar. The air is thick and hot. Here, you meet our 10th contender, Majungasaurus. It's no giant by this list's standards, about the length of a city bus, but its build is pure bulldog. Its body is stocky, its arms are comically small, and its skull is short, deep, and heavily armored with rough, bumpy bone. A single, blunt horn rises from its snout, a unique feature among theropods. This wasn't a sleek, fast predator. This was a brawler. Fossil evidence, including bite marks on the bones of its own kind, reveals a grim strategy. Majungasaurus was a cannibal, a survivor in a harsh environment. Its jaws weren't designed for a quick slash. Instead, its reinforced skull and powerful neck muscles allowed it to bite down with formidable pressure, gripping its prey or its rivals in a tenacious hold, refusing to let go until the struggle was over. Top 9. Allosaurus. We travel further back, 150 million years into the past, to the famed Morrison Formation of North America. The air here is drier, the giants are far, far larger, and hunting them is a predator with a completely different philosophy of force. Before you now is Allosaurus. Longer and more athletic than Majungasaurus, it is the very picture of a classic theropod. Its massive skull, crowned with two bony crests above the eyes, seems impossibly large, yet it's a marvel of lightweight engineering. This was not a skull built for crushing. This was a weapon built for slashing. Its teeth weren't thick pegs for pulverizing bone. They were long, serrated blades. Paleontologists believe its strategy was terrifyingly precise. Rather than a simple bite, Allosaurus likely used its powerful neck to drive its upper jaw downward like a hatchet, its teeth raking through flesh to create massive, debilitating wounds. It didn't need to hold on. It would strike, retreat, and let blood loss do the devastating work. In the vast fern savannas of the Jurassic, stalking herds of colossal sauropods, this hunter proved that the sharpness of the strike could be just as deadly as the pressure behind it. Top 8. Dunkleosteus. Plunging hundreds of millions of years deeper into the past, into the shadowy depths of the Devonian seas, you encounter a nightmare clad in bone. Submerged in this alien ocean, you meet Dunkleosteus. At nearly 30 feet long, it is a living tank, its entire head and chest encased in thick plates of solid bone armor, giving way to a powerful, shark-like tail. But its true terror lies in its mouth. This monster had no teeth. Instead, it wielded something far more brutal. Two pairs of sharp, bony plates that grew from its jaw, acting like self-sharpening guillotine blades. Its bite was a two-part catastrophe for its prey. First, a unique linkage of muscles and bone in its skull allowed it to snap its mouth open in 1/50th of a second, creating a powerful suction that vacuumed victims into its maw. Then, those bony shears would slam shut with thousands of pounds of force, capable of snipping armored fish and early sharks in half. In a world before the great reptiles, this was the undisputed king, a biological machine that combined the speed of a sprung trap with the finality of an executioner's axe. Top 7. Carcharodontosaurus. We now travel forward in time to the sweltering floodplains of North Africa 95 million years ago. The air is heavy with moisture, and the scale of life here is staggering. Stalking this river system is a predator whose very name honors the greatest slicer in our modern oceans. You now witness Carcharodontosaurus, the shark-toothed lizard. This colossal carnivore was longer than a T-Rex, a true giant of its time. But where a Tyrannosaur's skull was built for crushing, this creature's was a long, narrow instrument of exsanguination. Its power was not in pressure, but in its armament. Its jaws were lined with 8-inch-long teeth, flattened side to side, and finely serrated like steak knives. These were not tools for breaking bone. They were designed for a single, horrifying purpose: to slice through muscle and tendon with terrifying efficiency. Hunting the colossal sauropods that wallowed in the lush deltas, Carcharodontosaurus would have employed a strategy of pure trauma, rushing in to deliver a devastating bite that left a gaping wound. It was a macro predator specializing in creating macro wounds, an earth-shaking titan that bled its prey into submission. Top 6. Giganotosaurus. Your perspective now shifts to the vast plains of prehistoric Patagonia, 98 million years ago. Here, the ground trembles under the weight of the true titans of Earth's history. Looming on the horizon is Giganotosaurus, the giant southern lizard. For a time, it held the title of the largest meat-eating dinosaur known to science, surpassing even T-Rex in sheer length. Its skull alone was the size of a grown man. Like its African cousin, it was the pinnacle of the slicing predators. Its jaws, armed with rows of serrated, blade-like teeth, were not meant for crushing, but for raking through flesh. Imagine the challenge. Its prey was Argentinosaurus, a walking mountain of meat possibly weighing 100 tons. No single bite could fell such a beast. Instead, Giganotosaurus would have used its mouth like a colossal saw, lunging in to carve out huge furrows of flesh, severing muscles and creating wounds measured in feet, not inches. This was a bite designed to cripple giants, a weapon that could slowly drain the life from the largest animal to ever walk the earth. Top 5. Sarcosuchus. We are leaving the slicers behind to enter the domain of the crushers. To see this new philosophy of force, you return to the humid wetlands of Africa 112 million years ago. But your eyes are not on the horizon, but on the deceptively still surface of a wide, muddy river. Suddenly, the water erupts. This is Sarcosuchus imperator, the super-croc. At 40 feet long and weighing nearly 8 tons, it makes a modern saltwater crocodile look like a lizard. Its skull alone is as long as you are tall, ending in a broad, bulbous snout packed with over 100 thick, conical teeth. This creature represents a fundamental shift in our countdown. Its jaws were not delicate slicing instruments. They were a biological vice grip. Lurking in the opaque water, it would wait for a mid-sized dinosaur to stoop for a drink, then lunge with the force of a battering ram. The bite was a cage of bone from which there was no escape. Its power wasn't meant to wound, but to hold and to break, dragging its struggling victim into the depths to end the fight not with a blade, but with the inescapable, crushing finality of a hydraulic press. Top 4. Tarbosaurus. The hydraulic power of that ancient crocodile ruled the water's edge. But on the arid plains of late Cretaceous Asia, a new dynasty of predators was taking that same crushing force and engineering it for a life on the move. Under the vast, hazy sky of the ancient Gobi, you are about to witness the dawn of the bone breakers. This is Tarbosaurus batar, the alarming lizard, a near mirror image of its more famous North American cousin. It possessed all the hallmarks of the Tyrannosaur family. A colossal head, a muscular body balanced on two powerful legs, and absurdly small, two-fingered arms. But its true innovation was its skull. This was no longer just a jaw. It was a weaponized delivery system for pure kinetic force. Its teeth were not blades, but thick, deeply rooted spikes, capable of withstanding incredible impact stresses. Unlike the slicers that came before, Tarbosaurus didn't just bite flesh. It bit through the entire animal. Its bite could puncture hide, shatter ribs, and pulverize vertebrae, unlocking the rich marrow deep within the bone. This was a crucial advantage in its harsh, seasonal environment. In a world of scarcity, Tarbosaurus was a predator of terrifying efficiency, a walking demolition machine that left nothing behind but splinters. Top 3. Tyrannosaurus rex. That bone-splintering bite was a masterpiece of predatory evolution. But across an ancient land bridge, in North America, a sister lineage was taking that same terrifying blueprint and amplifying it to its absolute zenith. You are now in the Hell Creek Formation, 66 million years ago. In the final moments of the dinosaur age, the rhythmic tremor you feel through the soles of your feet is not an earthquake. It is an approach. Before you stands the king, Tyrannosaurus rex. Though similar in length to its Asian cousin, it is wider, heavier, and more robust in every dimension. Its skull is not just large. It is a fortress of fused bone, designed for one purpose: to deliver the most powerful bite of any land animal that has ever lived. Its forward-facing eyes grant it deadly stereoscopic vision, and its banana-sized teeth are not knives, but bone-obliterating battering rams. Scientific models estimate its jaw muscles could clamp down with a force of nearly 13,000 pounds, equivalent to the crushing weight of a small school bus on a single point. This wasn't just a bite. It was a ballistic event. It didn't just break bones. It caused them to explode. In the lush, subtropical forests of its domain, hunting armored prey like Triceratops, the tyrant king reigned supreme. Top 2. Deinosuchus. To find a jaw that could challenge and even surpass the king, you must return to the murky coastal waterways of North America 75 million years ago. Something is waiting just below the surface. A tyrant of a different element. It is Deinosuchus, the terrible crocodile. This was not simply a larger version of Sarcosuchus. It was a leviathan, shorter but far more massive, with a skull as wide and heavily built as a battering ram. Its teeth were as large as a T Rex's, but thicker, designed for the sole purpose of total annihilation. This aquatic horror shared the world with giant dinosaurs and viewed them not as rivals, but as prey. Fossil evidence shows it ambushed and ate large tyrannosaurs that ventured too close to the water. Its estimated bite force is staggering, potentially exceeding 23,000 pounds, nearly twice that of the T-Rex. When these jaws clamped shut, they didn't just hold, they shattered. A death roll from an animal this size would be an unimaginable vortex of destruction. It was the ultimate gatekeeper, a monster proving that even the king of the dinosaurs had to be terrified of what lurked in the water. Top 1. Megalodon. A bite that could dismember a dinosaur is an awesome, terrifying force, representing the peak of power at the threshold between land and sea. But to find the undisputed champion, the single most powerful bite in the history of life on this planet, we must leave the continents behind entirely. You are now adrift in the open ocean of the Miocene, 15 million years ago. Below you, a shadow is rising from the abyss. This is Otodus megalodon. It is not a dinosaur or a reptile. It is the ghost of all sharks, a great white scaled to the size of a whale. At 60 feet long, its jaws could open wide enough to swallow a small car, and the power they contained is almost beyond comprehension. Lined with 7-inch, serrated teeth, this mouth was the engine of the most powerful bite ever calculated, generating a force of up to 40,000 pounds. This creature was a specialist whale hunter. It didn't need a death roll or a patient slash. Its bite was a singular event of total devastation. It could shear off the flipper of a sperm whale or drive its teeth straight through a rib cage to destroy the heart and lungs within. It was the perfect combination of slicer and crusher, a living embodiment of oceanic supremacy, the absolute and final word in the story of jaw-powered predation. Our journey through time, measuring the power of these ancient jaws, now comes to a close. From the tenacious grip of a land-bound brawler to the oceanic apocalypse of Megalodon's bite, we see the sheer diversity of force that evolution can forge. These titans are gone, but their legacy, locked in stone, reminds us of nature's endless and awe-inspiring imagination.